Mr. Rich, you do know your daughter's playing you for a sucker, right? To say that I'm surprised at this month's pair would be an understatement. Friends Forever 16 follows the duo of Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. Whoa, 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 don't click away. Just hear me out for a second. As I was saying, Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon are the stars of this issue. When Cherry Lee, which is spelled with two E's at the end, announces a scavenger hunt, the two fillies show disinterest. But of course, when the CMC say that they want to take part, Diamond Tiara quickly changes her tune, and she goes the extra mile to show them up by hiring a world-famous Philly detective to help her out. So what's good? I can't believe I'm saying this, but the best part of this issue was Diamond Tiara herself. And I mean that in a good way. While we as an audience are very familiar with this character, we've never seen a story told from her perspective, and this new viewpoint helps to breathe life into what would have been a pretty formulaic story. We get to see her relationship with her father and learn that all this time she's been manipulating him into thinking that the CMC are the bullies and not her. And I know I'm not the only one who thought this was reminiscent of Angelica from Rugrats. This scene also shows that Filthy Rich isn't a bad father, he's just being duped. I never understood why a lot of the fan works that I've read portrayed him as a bad guy or some kind of villain, especially since his interactions with Granny Smith were very friendly in the TV show. So I'm glad this little tidbit of characterization cleared that up for us. There are a few points in this issue where Diamond makes these side remarks about the CMC that imply her spite towards them is born out of some sort of jealousy, the most noticeable one being, everything's a piece of cake when you're a Cutie Mark Crusader. Not like us. We have to work to be this good. That quote really stuck with me, and it makes me think back to all of Diamond's previous interactions with the CMC, and with this new information in mind, it kinda makes sense. And this marks the second time that Jeremy Whitley has made me care about a character that I previously could not care less about. Silver Spoon also has a moment where she's shown not to be as much of a hellion as Diamond is, and while it is short-lived, it's definitely worth mentioning. Another thing that's worth mentioning is that the art for this issue was done by a new artist, Jen Blake. While her style didn't stand out to me, it was serviceable and it fits with the tone of MLP. And she seems to like Littlest Pet Shop since it was referenced on two separate occasions in the comic. Now for the not so good. This issue suffered the same problem as Friends Forever 14, albeit to a much lesser extent. While I love seeing Diamond Tiara's characterization in this issue, I think we could have had more of Silver Spoon too. That one small moment we get from her towards the end is the only moment in the story that focuses on her, and in a series of comics that is supposed to be about the dynamics between its featured characters, it's a little disappointing that Silver didn't get much to say. Mind you, this doesn't break the story by any means, but it does keep it from being as strong as it could have been. Then there's the character of Prancy Drew. No, I'm not kidding. Prancy Drew. It felt like she was there for only two purposes. One, to be a plot device, and two, to be an obvious reference. Similar to how Jade Singer from Micro Issue 1 was an obvious reference to J.D. Salinger. However, Prancy was, to an extent, a necessary evil, since her presence did give us that Silver Spoon moment. I just think that with how obvious of a reference she was, it made her a distraction. And my nitpick of the day is that Mayor seemed a little too passive when it came to the rules of the scavenger hunt. Especially at the end when she saw that Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon had abandoned their teammate. But at least it was just her. In most stories revolving around the younger supporting characters, the adult characters tend to get bopped in the head with the stupid stick. A lot. So it could have been a lot worse. In the end, I think this was a good issue. It had a few distractions, but there was some great characterization with Diamond Tiara, and I can see myself rereading it a couple months down the line. Next month's comic follows Big Mac and Twilight, and I honestly don't know what to expect from this one since it's kind of a random pairing, so we'll see when June rolls around. So, what did you think of Friends Forever 16? Let me know in the comments below or hit me up on Tumblr, and consider supporting me on PayPal through art commissions or donations. Until next time, keep it sketchy, folks.